The war in Sudan confronts 18 million people with acute hunger. This is equivalent to the entire population in the Netherlands. A lack of timely action will contribute to what is becoming the world's largest hunger crisis in decades. I'll quickly dive into 3 questions. So who's fighting whom in Sudan? 2 leading generals in Sudan took up arms against each other, unleashing a brutal war in the capital city that quickly engulfed the entire country and now threatens the broader region. These 2 former allies fight for supremacy. Sudanese Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, known as Hemeti. He's the leader of the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, the RSF. Burhan's army conducts indiscriminate airstrikes and blocks international and local aid. Meanwhile, RSF troops continue to attack, rape, and kill civilians. According to the International Criminal Court, both armies are believed to have committed genocide and other war crimes. Thousands have been killed, 8 million are displaced, and there's no end to the conflict inside. Sudan represents not only the largest and fastest growing displacement crisis globally, this war has also created the largest humanitarian catastrophe worldwide. So how does the conflict contribute to the hunger crisis? Extreme hunger is not new to Sudan. For decades, Sudan's exploitative political economy has left large parts of the population, especially in regions like Darfur, struggling to survive. The current war has severely exacerbated the country's food security situation. The airstrikes and looting have disabled much of Sudan's food infrastructure. The fighting prevents farmers from cultivating their land. Both armies have reportedly obstructed or diverted international food aid, looted warehouses, and targeted aid workers. The outlook is terrifying. Take a look at this visual. It compares projected cereal consumption per capita with the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification, APC, a scale on food security. 32 million people will be in the emergency category, the second worst level. 7 million people will face extreme lack of food. This means they will have access to less than a third of the normal energy requirements. What is the most important thing that needs to be done to contain this looming famine? The looming famine is not an inevitable consequence of the war, but a deliberate tactic by the warring parties. The European Union, the US, and the United Nations must increase diplomatic and economic pressure on the generals and their regional sponsors to end the war and allow for humanitarian aid. Our scenarios indicate that Sudan's trajectory towards a catastrophe is certain, and that the risk of famine is extremely high. Only recognition of this risk of famine will mobilize the concerted action that is required to contain the scale of mass starvation. You will find our scenarios and the underlying analysis in my Klingendahl policy brief.